Another matter, one night early last week, a Durham police officer came to my home to deliver a subpoena, summoning me to appear in court as a witness at a trial. What I found curious about the subpoena was that it was addressed to me as, quote, Julian Smith, Durham Town Consular, unquote, not to my home address. It was delivered to my home, but it was addressed to me as a member of this body. I reported to the Dover District Court as ordered last Wednesday, but after waiting several hours, I was told by a county attorney that I was not needed that morning, that the trial had been postponed, and that a telephone message to that effect had been, quote, left at your office, unquote. So I don't have an office, so of course I was amused or puzzled by this. Shortly after that, when I stopped by Town Hall, Jenny Berry, Todd's administrative assistant, told me she had called my home to pass on a message from the court that the trial had been postponed. I mention these petty details to establish that someone in the Durham Police Department, apparently, seems to be trying to hang the title of consular around my neck like a dead albatross, when in fact I was acting as a private citizen. And except for the inconvenience to Mrs. Berry, I don't mind such childish games, but I do object to always being identified as a member of the town council on such matters. For that reason, when the last member of the public who wishes to speak during public comments tonight has spoken, I intend to rise from the council table and speak as a member of the public in order to make the point that membership on the council does not cancel or limit one's right or obligation to speak and act as a private citizen. Right now, both as a consular and as a private citizen, I want to thank Todd for something he wrote in an email to me on October 8th in regard to questions I posed in an email to Chief Kurz on October 7th about events that occurred on October 5th and 6th, and I'll discuss these later. Todd promised, quote, I will make it overtly clear to the department, by which he meant the police department, that you are acting as a private citizen, unquote. Some of you may remember that he copied that message.
Okay, not seeing anybody else.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, right.
For the record, I'm Julian Smith. I reside on Packers Falls Road, and I'm addressing you as a member of the public. According to a front page story in Foster's regarding events on the evening of Monday, October 5th, Durham's deputy police chief is quoted as saying, quote, a gentleman heard gunshots and thought the gunshots were directed at him, unquote. The report goes on to say that, quote, a Dover man has been arrested in relation to the incident, but he hasn't been charged with firing or possessing a weapon, unquote. The Dover man was charged with resisting arrest, which simply means that he did not immediately come down the quarter-mile-long driveway of the farm owned by his family when he saw police from 5 departments gathered that night in great force with flashing lights along Newmarket Road. As of this date, more than 3 months later, prosecution of the resisting arrest charge has been twice postponed, and he has not been charged with anything in connection with the shots allegedly heard by the gentleman. About 6 hours after that arrest, Durham police returned with a search warrant, cut the padlocks on a garage and 2 barns, and broke into the farmhouse to search in the middle of the night for evidence in support of the gentleman's claim that he heard gunshots and thought they were fired at him. The following afternoon, I was present on his family's farm with the man from Dover when 2 police officers who were securing this crime scene were joined by 3 more officers who arrived to execute a second search warrant. I watched as a total of 4 Durham officers entered the farmhouse to conduct a second search. That same afternoon, the day after he claimed to have heard gunshots, the gentleman filed a court document in which he made the extraordinarily specific claim that, quote, the police have recovered the rifle and casings for the 2 rounds fired after executing a search warrant, unquote. Several obvious questions grow out of that claim. Did the police find any bullets fired on October 5th? If so, did the police conduct ballistic tests to prove the bullets were fired by that rifle? Did the police conduct a gunshot residue test on the man from Dover? To the best of my knowledge, the answer to these questions is no. One more question. Is it the policy of our police department to share such information with a person who has filed a complaint about hearing gunshots? Why isn't the man from Dover here to speak to you? Because the gentleman from Durham managed to get a restraining order which prevents the man from Dover from entering Durham unless he arranges for police escort. The cost of that escort service, I've been told, is $70 an hour for a minimum of 4 hours. The man from Dover cannot afford such luxuries. And the citizens of Durham may not be able to afford the luxury of a police department that seems to have overreacted by calling in our fire department and at least 4 other police agencies, blocking and detouring traffic on a state highway, arresting someone on his family's property for not doing as he was told as quickly as they might like, and breaking into 4 buildings in search of who knows what. And all because a gentleman said he had heard gunshots and thought they were directed at him. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, before you tonight, under unfinished business, is a status report on the goals you adopted last year. Let me remind you that the very last core value you adopted, justice. Thank you.